What is going on, YouTube? Patrick here. Saturday morning, gonna go out, brave the elements because it is snowing like crazy right now. We're gonna do a big day of thrifting. Probably gonna hit, what do you think, Amber? Like 5-6 thrift stores? Something like that, yeah. We'll see how we do. Let's get into it. So as usual, we're gonna do a little bit of a hybrid of voiceover and live audio. Amber was out looking at all sorts of different things in the thrift stores or was not feeling great, so didn't come in, just a couple of them today. So gonna be a little bit more of me just kind of talking to myself, lots of music. So I deleted a lot of the audio. So you guys are gonna be stuck with me a little bit today. You can see there that I did throw a couple things in the cart. I did end up picking the nunchuck up. Not gonna include that at the comps at the end though. Yeah, I think kitchen goods, Vera. There's nothing back here. So here we are over in the kitchen goods. You heard me say that I thought it might be just one of those days. This Savers thrift store definitely was not doing very good for us this day. So we did some looking around. We're going to go and see the toys and the electronics and stuff, but only ended up picking up like 3 items, including that nunchuck, I think. One pretty good one, but nothing outside of the ordinary. No home runs. So here's another one of these. It's kind of gross. So, well, maybe one of those days, Bear. Let's go to the toys. So here we are over at the toy pegs. I've sped it up a little bit, but I thought it was fun. There was enough stuff to kind of look at. You saw me put some stuff in the cart already. I ended up putting almost everything back. There was some pretty interesting, like older toys, but honestly, it's like, old doesn't mean value, right, guys? Like, it just means that it's old. So there was some stuff from like the early 2000s. Just was able to use Google Lens, right? Like, I'm always pulling that app out, looking up stuff. There's a Thor figure that I thought was maybe a Mego, maybe even a modern Mego. Without the hammer, it wasn't Mego, but even without the hammer, just wasn't worth anything. I ended up redonating that, but it was super interesting, right? Just didn't end up having any value. Those Knights figures there, right? Those were from the early 2000s. Did a quick look up, just no value, right? These were cheapo sets, even though they may be quality, just not going to have a lot of long-term value, right? It's not going to be something that's collectible. I always just look at all these bags. It's super fun. I hope you guys think it's fun too. Now went through the toy section, kind of skipped it today since we've got a lot of different stores we're going to go to. Headed down to the board games here. This Scrabble was super interesting, so we did put it in the cart. It didn't end up being worth more than like $10, so back onto the shelf it went. Picked up a couple other things here that looked interesting, and then I'm probably going to put something really good into the cart here in a second. There it is. This Scrabble I'm pulling down from the top shelf here is one of those rotating base versions. This is even a little bit newer. It was missing one tile. Oh my gosh, of course, one tile. So ordered a replacement from eBay. I think it ended up costing me $2, including shipping. Not too bad. And then Munchkin there, I also ended up picking that up. That one I got for Amazon, right? I'm looking to expand from eBay over into selling things on Amazon. I am learning that it's not as easy to get into it as I was hoping, of course, but what are you going to do? I did check out that 13 dead end drive. A couple of years ago, they were selling really well and really just not doing very well anymore. Headed up to the front here, looking at these pegs for electronics. Couple of cameras in there. Didn't really find a ton this day. For digital cameras, I usually set myself a limit of it has to be 12 megapixels or higher for me even to consider it. Just kind of made that rule up a few years ago, and at least last summer was still working pretty well for me. End up picking up a couple of duds and probably missing a couple of gems, honestly, you guys. So you got to still trust your instincts on that stuff and be like, hey, maybe I need to look this one up. Maybe I need to skip this one, that kind of thing. But you can do pretty well just like having yourself some guidelines for some of those things where you're going to find, especially for things you're going to find a lot of. I'm usually going to be looking for ink, maybe, probably not so much. Like lately, it's almost always expired. Looking for calculators. That camera right there is a Vivitar. I did end up looking it up. Wasn't worth more than about $10. I found a couple of Canons lately that have done really well. Ended up getting some good profits off of those, which I really like. But yeah, most of the stuff here today just not going to be great, as I'll tell Amber. Yeah, I figured I'd toss a couple things in the cart and see. This one is a good one.
Yeah.
Yep. What kind of camera is it? I don't know. There's like no branding on there.
Probably inside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I would say no.
Me too. But still was interesting to take a look at. Yeah. I'm glad I married you then. No matter what, that's coming with me. So now looking in the case up here, I did end up picking up that Walking Dead comic book for myself. Not really a ton of resale value, maybe like $10. So if you can get it at a garage sale for maybe $1, maybe not be a bad flip. But otherwise, like definitely not going to be worth really the $3.99 that I picked it up for. You could probably double your money, but just not like a huge seller. I mostly got it because I was interested in reading it. So I was like, why not? Excuse me, even behind the counter up here, not really a lot of interesting things. Same as the rest of the store, right? Looking for electronics, video games, anything they would have put behind the counter. All right, so next stop is a Goodwill. This one's actually not too far from that Savor, so that's always nice. Headed, of course, back to the electronics immediately. There is a nice looking Microsoft Xbox, original Xbox controller. I think they wanted $3.99, $4.99 for it. I did end up coming back and picking it up once I found a couple other things I was interested in. Right, it sells for like $15 to $20 plus shipping, so you can do pretty well on those. A lot of times, though, you do want to test the controllers unless they are just in pristine condition. But it's totally up to you. Sometimes I'll make a judgment call if it's in great looking shape and the thumbsticks are feeling really good. I'll take a chance and list it just as not as is, but I'll list it assuming it works and being ready to refund it. Right. So, but you also want to protect your rating. So don't necessarily just do that just because. Do it when you have a really good feeling and you feel like this is going to work without too many failures. Right, so the ones you definitely starting to get worried about them. You may want to test those. Some of the newer stuff, don't worry about it too much. All right, so looking at the rest of the electronics here, not finding too much. Right, there was a router with some weird things on it looking there. There was a Wii fitness board, of course. Right, there seems like they're always around. But honestly, right, looking for video cameras, looking for VCRs, looking for the DVD VHS combination players, right, looking for some kitchen gadgets, and just not seeing them here today. What are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to just keep looking and hunting and digging through these shelves, and we may find something, right? Like normally I would pick up a wheel like that, one of those Wii Mario Kart wheels. I think they wanted something like $5 for it, which is basically what it's worth, right? Even you bundle them up in lots of 2 or 4, that's about what you're going to get for them, right? Maybe $20 free shipping, maybe plus shipping if it's good. What you really want to do with those wheels is bundle them together with a Mario Kart game. You're going to be able to do a lot better. Or better still, bundle 4 wheels with 4 controllers, Mario Kart and a Wii, and you're probably going to command a pretty big price on that, right? You've got a ready to play set, and that's going to do really well. All right, so looking at these Christmas Village pieces down there, I didn't even look them up. I probably should have, considering how long I was staring at them here. They certainly looked interesting, but usually just try to stick with Department 56. I did go over to the toy section here, and I found this Spooky Hollow train set, which Spooky Hollow I've actually done pretty well with in the past, and I really had high hopes for this thing. I did look it up, and it was only selling for like $10, and I think they wanted $6.99 or something like that for it. So, yeah, you guys guessed it. It stayed behind. But what are you going to do? Sometimes you find gems, and sometimes you don't. I did look this puzzle up on Amazon to see if it had any value. I don't remember if it was new or not, but I did end up leaving that behind. Headed around the corner here to another of the toy shelves, and I saw this catchphrase that was up there. That really caught my eye. Whatever I've got in my hands there, I may have looked up, but apparently not. The catchphrase, though, definitely picked that up. Stayed to the end, see what it was worth. And then went around the corner to this other shelf, and oh my gosh, what is this going to be here? Guitar Hero World Tour controller for the Wii. I think they only wanted a few dollars for this thing. I have not found one of those in a long time, especially not at a thrift store. So love to find these things. This version, the necks come off, so they're super easy to ship. I mean, you guys may have heard that the USPS is about to start charging a surcharge on long items, so guitars are going to get harder to ship through the post office. You guys may have seen me just now throw it over my shoulders, so now I'm wearing it on my back. I almost always do this when I find them, especially if they have the strap. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. People usually give you strange looks, but try to have a good time when you're out thrifting and going to garage sales. Headed around the corner here to another of these toy shelves, and there was another of these big Scrabble games with the rotating board. It was $8, and I don't know. I just had a bad feeling about it, you guys, so I left it behind. I was like, I already found one Scrabble today. I don't necessarily need another one, but honestly, $8, I'll probably be able to sell that for like 30 to 40 bucks. I probably should have picked it up. Now I headed over to the books, and I found this big lot of Star Wars books. There were 5 of them here. Took a look. They wanted $2 each for these things. A couple of them were first edition, so I looked up like all the books to see like, do the first editions matter and this kind of thing? Do bundles matter? I did end up picking these up. The bundles are going to be where it's at. Some of them will sell okay by themselves, but for $2 each, it wasn't a bad deal. They're going to be about more like 6. And then as soon as I picked them up, one of the guys next to me said, hey, there's 2 more down there on the end. So I went and grabbed those as well. All right, we're at the third thrift store of the day. This is another Savers. We had to drive a little bit farther out of the way to get to this one. This has the board games and stuff right at the front of the store. So that was the first place I stopped. It's a little bit later in the day, so I didn't head to the electronics first to try to be the first one there or anything like that. I just was like, let's do some fun stuff. So like I said, trying to get into selling stuff on Amazon, looking at some of the other YouTubers who do this, they just pull up the barcode, they scan it in, they look at how much it's selling for, and make a determination. So that's what I did. I purchased some stuff from a wholesaler recently and was assuming that I would get ungated in the toys category. That was not the case. I ended up getting ungated just for a specific brand in the toys category, which I was very shocked about. So I jumped the gun just a little bit on buying some of these board games. What I plan to do is sell through all of the inventory that I have already purchased. And then what I'm going to try and do is scan these in again and try to get approved to sell these on Amazon as well. We're going to see how well that works. I'm very hopeful, but I'm also being very cautious now with what I'm picking up. I tend to do that, right? I get very excited about something new and just go crazy, dive into it before really I'm ready to do it, which sometimes pays off and sometimes doesn't. I saw this game there and did pick it up. That was a branded game that I recognized. Just know that those games can do really well. So popped in the cart, stayed to the end. You can see what it's worth. It definitely was a good pickup for that one. I put that Maniac game in the cart. That one went back though. Just no value there for that. All right. So then after I finished in the game section, I headed back to the electronics and I got really excited because look, there's a Sony VCR sitting right there in the front for $6.99. I did pick that up. Then there was, I can't remember what brand that second one was. I picked that one up too. The Sony's probably going to be like a $40 to $50 VCR. And then the other one, probably more like a $30 VCR. Both of them, I think, were like $5.99 each, something like that. So not going to be the best prices on them. But the Sony, especially at $40 to $50, is going to do pretty well. I saw this little kit there, and there was definitely something missing. I did take a quick look just because I was like, this little part here looked really interesting. Sure enough, like no value, but it caught my eye, and I tend to trust my gut on these things, as I'm sure you guys do too. Hello.
What is this?
Christmas? How much?
99 cents.
Done. That's easy. What do you think? Record player?
Yeah.
All right, 2 VCRs.
Nice.
One's a Sony.
Nice.
That's crazy, right? I'd say this is worth the risk, even if it doesn't work.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, for $7. What's that?
Is there another one?
This is something new. I had to go through some of this stuff. Like, the Sony one I'm buying, like, that's easy. This one is like a maybe. It is stereo, so. VHQ 750. Let's take a look, huh?
Okay.
$35. So for $5, probably a good deal.
Okay. Forgot your wallet?
I did. I was like, what is happening? You sure? I don't mind going to get it.
I'll go get it.
Okay. I'm going to be around.
Are you done or?
Almost. I'm going to do one more loop. I haven't been over on that side of the store yet, so.
Okay.
So similar to other savers, this one has a little case area. So here I am going up to check it out. A little bit of a weird setup, right? Because you can't really see some of that stuff that's on the shelves over there from where I am right now. What I really didn't realize until I saw somebody else do it is you can walk around to the other side and even get pretty close to them. Just wasn't used to this savers layout, but like most of the savers I've been to lately, there's not a ton of stuff behind the counter, but you never know. Sometimes you're going to find some stuff. The glass case you can see there's a bunch of like video game controllers. And then over there in the corner, there is actually a Nintendo Switch dock, which really threw me for a loop because it actually had a Legend of Zelda skin on it, meaning it didn't come like that. Somebody applied it, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. So I checked it out. So here I am at the last Goodwill of the day. I only put this last couple of minutes in because the rest of it there was just nothing in this place. Not too surprising. It was a little off the beaten path and it was pretty late in the day. So usually stuff is picked over. That being said, like I picked up a couple things. So went over here and took a look at the games, right? So the game shelf, and you can see I'm holding a puzzle right there, which was brand new and sealed. And you guys know from earlier in this video, I was looking for some stuff to put up on Amazon, thinking I'd be able to sell it after I got myself ungated, but it wasn't the same thing that I was thinking of that it would be. So I don't know that I'll be able to sell it right away, but it is going to go into my storage unit and it'll stay there for a little while. Stay to the end. You can see what I think it's going to sell for on Amazon after I get ungated for that particular product. You can see in the bottom of the case there was an Xbox One Connect device, which I really wanted, but it was $30. Just not going to be any kind of room for profit there. There's a second case in this place, or maybe this is there's the little curio case and then this one up at the counter here. They had a couple of video games in there, so of course you can't see it. That's usually the way these things go. So I asked to take a look, and then you can see I'm pointing to something else over there. This ended up being from Disney World, from the Magic Kingdom. This is the Sorcerers. I can't remember what it's called. Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. There we go. So they give you a pack a day there, and then you can buy these extra booster packs. You guys, that's the only way to get like 9 of the cards in the game. So if you're a completionist, you're only going to find it if you buy those packs in the stores in the park. And right, I bought it, stay to the end. You guys will you will not be unhappy that you see how much that card is worth. All right, well, that is going to do it today, you guys. We're going to jump over into the comps now. Thank you very much for watching.